Hello indie game fans, Steam Sale is here yet again with the gimmick being the Steamville Winter Sale 2019. Not too much of any meta event this time, so my 10 indie game picks under $10 start with Regalia of Men and Monarchs. This is turn-based tactics RPG where after the passing of your father, you inherit a kingdom far, far away, but upon arrival, come to find that it is in huge debt. Assemble a party of unlikely heroes, go adventuring, and earn enough money to turn the kingdom around. On top of beautiful hand-drawn art, this even has kingdom management elements and variants on your traditional fantasy tropes, such as samurai dwarves, so for an alternative take on the traditional fantasy RPG, this is a good bet.
Destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice.
And it's whoa ho down ho, there she blows my thread.
Nantucket tells an imagining of the story that occurs after the events in the classic book Moby Dick. Playing as Ishmael, the sole survivor from that fateful hunt, sharpen your harpoon and once again go after that elusive white whale. This is a management RPG with turn-based combat as you upgrade your ship, hire crew, and sail the high seas, fighting pirates and hunting whales. Love the hand-drawn art style, and there are awesome sea shanties as well.
Captain Ahab's leg, and for that he'd surely pay. And for that he'd surely pay.
There she blows!
And for that
Here
he'd surely
I
pay.
stand.
And for that he'd surely pay.
2014's DUNGEONMANS is a classic turn-based roguelike, where the academy is at the heart of it all. As heroes return from their adventures with loot and wisdom, the academy grows as a place of learning, empowering future graduates with the knowledge necessary to succeed. This meta progression will make it much friendlier to newcomers to the genre, but this is your traditional high fantasy turn-based roguelike, but with some light-hearted humor and writing. Since the 1.0 launch, the updates have still been coming, so I think that this developer has cultivated quite the audience for a pretty good game. One look at Battle Princess MADELYN, and you can immediately tell that it is inspired by Ghosts and Goblins due to the spear throwing animation. Playing as the Princess MADELYN, go on a quest to stop an evil wizard from destroying the kingdom. There's quite a heartwarming story behind the game of how the developer made this game for his daughter to show her that girls can be heroes too, but wonderful pixel art and animation in this, coupled with some tricky and challenging gameplay. If Baba as you open your eyes to the world of puzzle games, I would encourage you to check out Stefan's sausage roll as well. The premise is simple. Grill all the sausages without burning them or knocking them into the water. However, this quickly ramps up and gets incredibly challenging, and while it is not the most beautiful thing to look at, the puzzles in this sure are head scratchers. Developer Clemmygames is known for these sorts of obtuse and mind-bending puzzles where you actually have to use your brain, so highly recommended for some mental gymnastics. Dandara is an awesome pixel art Metroidvania with a unique gimmick in that our heroine can't run or jump, but can only stick to walls and floors as a means of traversal. It has a Souls-like system of dropping currency upon death, but the main hook and fun about this game is the exploration and the variety in the biomes. Dodging projectiles and firing back feels really good, and this even pays tribute to one of Brazil's heroines from folklore. ANARCUTE is an adorable rioting simulator which does seem to be rather contradicting ideas, but this has you controlling a mob of critters, fighting against the mega corporation, freeing cities and saving the world. Think Pikmin but with less puzzles and more adorable violence, and you can get an idea. As the size of your mob grows, this enables you to increase the number of things that you can do, such as literally toppling buildings. Adorable all around, the different cities do feel unique and have their own flavour, and are not just simple copy-paste jobs, with boss fights against mechanical monstrosities as well. EARTHLOCK, previously known as EARTHLOCK Festival of Magic, is a classic JRPG made by a Norwegian indie developer and looks to capture that PS2 feel in terms of graphics, and I would say that it has been a success. This is very classically designed, with turn-based combat and assembling a party of unlikely heroes to stop the end of the world, but there are some nice tweaks like having a home base that you can return to at any time to grow magical ingredients and craft weapons and items. The skill progression system is very interesting, known as a talent board here, which is not as complex as something like Spear Grid, but in the same vein. This is the revamped version of the original, taking into account feedback received, so good that the developers listened and as a result, made quite the enjoyable experience. Ash of God's Redemption is the second turn-based tactics game on this list, where I love what they did with the narrative structure. This is a dark fantasy world where monsters known as Reapers have begun to reappear in the world, drowning it in blood, with the hope of awakening the sleeping gods. This has a 3-protagonist setup, so you see the story unfold from different perspectives, but the most interesting part of this is that there's no game over even if one of the main character dies, where the story evolves and adapts instead, with pretty good combat as well. The art style certainly looks very inspired by the Banner Saga, but that is not a bad game to get inspired by, and this has that same brutal, harsh survival feel of that game. For the narrative arc alone, this is a very interesting game to discuss, and certainly one that game developers should check out.
I can see you. I can smell your dread and madness.
Book of Demons is a real-time deck-building action RPG with a papercraft aesthetic that almost apes Diablo 1 to a T, but the core design engine and systems are pretty neat. While you can only move on the path, enemies can come at you from all directions, from your classic skeletons and zombies to gargoyles and demons, where most enemies do have some special mechanic like disease or turning to stone. Their in-game engine allows you to customize your play session in terms of difficulty and projected length of time, perfect for fitting into your daily schedule, but as a big fan of Diablo, this one really spoke to me.
You won't make it. For in the end, you will have to face me.
If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, share and subscribe. Check out the recommended playlist or the best pick for you, and I will see you after the jump.